Los Angeles, one of the least corrupt cities in the United States. And its police force is one of the most honest and efficient in the world. But it wasn't always so.
Morning, Mike. If I still got any luck coming to me, I'll be halfway to Mexico by the time you hear this. I think I got a good lead on the guys who were shooting at me. A couple of months and I may come back to this burg. Look, I'll try to get in touch with you in a week or so. If you don't hear from me, you'll know my luck ran out. You remember that day that you popped into my office with that Abernathy file?
Oh, sorry for the interruption. Jake, did you get around to looking into that Abernathy thing for me?
Yeah. I put the file on your desk while you were out to lunch.
Okay. Oh, how do you do? Excuse me.
I'm sorry, you were saying?
This is what was in the letter.
That's very nice, Mrs. Lindstrom. You know, if this thing is real, it could be worth at least $2,000.
Glass my Elsa would not send me. Believe me, Mr. Axmister. A mother knows when her child is in trouble. Do not worry, she tells me. I'm all right, she says. And then this $2,000 ring comes in the mail. I go to her apartment, and her landlady tells me she has not come home for 2 days.
Here, You better take this and put it in a safe place.
No, you keep it.
Me? What for?
I wish to hire you to find out where she is, and the ring is, I do not...
Collateral.
Yeah, so you know I will pay you.
All right, I'll put this in a safe place and give you a receipt.
Thank you.
Marcia, give me one of those pawnbroker forms that we use. Yeah, okay, thank you. Now, Mrs. Lindstrom, I'm going to ask you some questions about your daughter. Where she worked, who her friends were, what she did with her spare time, things like that.
Yeah, I have here written out for you. I'm afraid I do not write English too good.
Guy McAfee, Bob Gans, these are friends of your daughter?
You know them?
Well, let's just say I know who they are. What about Thelma Holland?
Elsa's best friend. She's a dancer also at the Colony Club. It is a nice club.
Oh, yes, it's a very nice place.
Elsa is a good girl, Mr. Axminster. She is good, not a bad girl, no.
Charles Harrington. Do you know who he is?
No.
Me neither. Now, who's Sally Lind?
That is Elsa. You see, she had to change her name 3 years ago for the movies.
Oh, I see. Sally Lind. Huh. I think I like Elsa Lindstrom better.
Yeah, me too.
Let me give you that receipt.
Thank you so much.
You know, I must have been sitting on my brains that afternoon. As a business practice, I've always found it healthier to stay clear of the mobs. And you know, Mike, just because Sally Lynn was working at the Colony Club, it didn't mean that, you know, she was in with those guys, or even that she was in trouble. I don't know, I figured I could check it out, make her mother happy, collect my fee. Besides, I needed the money. So, I went over to Sally Lynn's place first. And around 9 o'clock, I checked into the Colony Club. What do you say, Harry?
Hey, Jake.
How do you do it? I haven't been in this joint in 6 months.
You know I never forget. How you doing, Jake?
I'm trying to keep my shoes shine. Here's to you. Who's that guy over there in the corner sitting with Guy McAfee?
Oh, it's Charlie Harrington. He's new in town. It's bourbon and soda man.
Where's he from?
Cleveland. He's a nice fella, too.
You know Sally Lynn, don't you?
Yeah?
Could you tell me about her?
She's one of McAfee's stable. I ain't seen her around the last few days.
What about Thelma Holland?
What about her?
She one of McAfee's girls?
Well, she just works here. She dances in the chorus. That's her over there. She'll be going backstage in a few minutes to change.
What does she drink?
Tom Collins.
Excuse me, sweetheart. Name's Jake. Can I buy you a drink?
I buy my own drinks.
It's about Sally Lynn.
Who are you?
Come on over. Sit down. I'll tell you all about it. Come on. It's okay. My last name's Axminster. I'm a private detective. Sally's been missing for the last 3 days. Her mother hired me to find her.
You're lying.
Look, I was over at her apartment. I searched the place. She didn't pack up. She wasn't going anywhere. Now, what kind of trouble is she in?
I don't know.
I don't believe you. She wouldn't go anywhere without telling you or telling her mother.
Look, it's only been 3 days.
Okay. I guess I could ask McAfee. He could probably tell me all about it.
I hope you're kidding. You're not going to talk to him.
I'd rather talk to you.
Look, I told you I don't know anything. If I did, I'd tell you. Please, Mr. Axminster. You're only going to make trouble for her.
And for you, too? Yeah.
Is this Jake Axminster?
Yeah, you got it.
You're trying to find out what happened to Sally Lind.
I didn't know anything happened to Sally Lynn. Who is this?
Ask Barbara Thornberry. Ask her what happened to Sally.
Barbara Thornberry's fiancé. Jake Axminster to see Miss Barbara Thornberry. I called earlier.
Okay, pull in and wait, and I'll drive up with you. What's your business with Miss Thornberry?
Who are you, her secretary?
She likes me to know what's going on.
Well, what's going on is that I'm going to have a talk with her, alone. If she wants to tell you, that's her business. That cannon you're carrying, you use that for dictation? Hey, you know, that's a terrific-looking suit you got. Who's your tailor?
Miss Thornberry, Mr. Jake Axminster.
Mr. Axminster? You're not exactly my idea of a private detective. I thought they were all little gray men in trench coats.
Yeah, well, that's only in real life.
That'll be all, George.
Miss Thornberry, I don't...
It's all right. I'll call you if I need you.
Lift your arms, please.
What?
Lift your arms.
I hope you don't mind, Mr. Axminster.
No, it's just kind of ticklish.
After my father was killed, I got George. He's very good at what he does. Well, I have an instinct about people. Though what I've heard about private detectives isn't particularly complimentary.
Do you trust your own instincts?
Yes.
Well, you shouldn't. Because I lied to you on the telephone. I don't have any information about the death of your father. You, want to call George back?
How did you get my telephone number? It isn't listed.
I bought it from the police.
How much did you pay for it?
Not much. See, there's a depression on, and there's fierce competition among the cops these days.
So much for the illusion of privacy. I found that protection is illusion, too, when my father was beaten to death in his own house. Won't you sit down, Mr. Axminster? Axminster. Now, that's a very difficult name.
Yeah, I know. I've been meaning to change it.
Well, what did you want to see me about?
I'm looking for a girl, Sally Lind. I got a call last night from a woman who says if I wanted to know what happened to her, I should ask Barbara Thornberry.
Would, you like a drink, Mr. Axminster?
So you know Sally Lind, huh?
No, I do not. But I did get a phone call from a woman 3 nights ago who said she had information that would help Paul Gerard. She wanted $5,000 for it. I told her to come on over here and we'd talk about it. She sounded very frightened and said she wanted to meet at Westlake Park.
What was her name?
Sally Lind.
Did you meet her?
No. I went to the park with the $5,000 and with George, and we waited for nearly 4 hours. But she never showed up. And I haven't heard from her since.
But you were willing to pay her $5,000?
Of course. If it was worth it. Look, I know that Paul did not kill my father.
Yeah, I know. I read your testimony.
Yes, well, the district attorney seems to think I lied to protect him. Look, I agreed to meet you for the same reason that I agreed to meet Sally Lind. I would like to have any information that will help Paul Gerard.
Barbara. Darling, Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't realize you had company.
David? Oh, Mr. Axminster, this is Mr. Isley, my godfather.
How do you do? I just got word from Paul's attorneys. It's gone for the jury.
What are his chances?
It's anybody's guess.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me, I'll be running along. Thank you very much.
I'm passing on a message from Joe Shaw. You owe money. You pay it, or we're gonna tear your joint apart.
Lieutenant, you busy?
Get out of here.
Wait a minute, I'm a paying customer.
You got the message. Pass it on. Shut the door. What do you want?
Guy McAfee and Bob Gans, they still paying off the mayor?
You accusing the mayor of taking bribes?
Lieutenant, I'm sorry. I don't know what got into me. Look, if there was gambling going on in the town, would Guy McAfee still be running it? And if there are slots, would Bob Gans still have the concessions? Well?
You're gonna have to speak up a little, Jake.
Hey, you know something? You're getting greedy. I mean, we're just having a friendly conversation. You haven't told me anything yet.
If you already know, why do you bother to ask?
Lieutenant, this sawbuck's got your name on it, but, I mean, you know, if you don't want it.
Answer's yes.
Oh. Who's Charles Harrington?
Friend of McAfee's.
You gonna make me tear this up and give it to you piece by piece?
From Cleveland, retired.
I guess you just don't want to do business.
You ask, I told you. A lot of people come out here to retire. Mr. Herring's got a lot of class. He likes the horses, plays a little golf, and he's generous.
You've been greased, huh? Okay, thanks, Lieutenant.
Jake! Don't you walk out here owing me.
Lieutenant, you didn't tell me anything.
If you don't like it, take your business somewhere else.
I would, except you're running the only store in town. Friend of McAfee's, retired.
Right?
The only way that gal ever retires with a bullet.
Fiver.
Hello, Mr. Brown.
Hello, Lester.
Mike, hey, wait a minute, will you?
Jake, I gotta file a writ in 45 minutes.
Listen, did you get my note?
Look, I don't know what you expect to find on David Isley. His family is solid, socially and financially. Civic leaders, old Pasadena. His father was a Superior Court Justice. His grandfather was Lieutenant Governor of the state for 2 terms. Of course, that doesn't give him instant respectability.
It doesn't make him an instant bum either. Now, how is he tied in with the Thornberrys?
Jake, money loves company. It's an old family friendship. Look, about 5 years ago, Isley formed a partnership with Martin Thornberry called Palm Springs Development Company. They acquired a sizable hunk of desert out there, set up some building codes, and the rest is history. They made a top resort out of the place.
Well, that means when Thornberry died, the partnership became Isley and Barbara Thornberry, right?
I think you could bet on that.
Listen, did you check out Harrington for me? Charles Harrington.
Would you remember that I'm your attorney, not your leg man? As a matter of fact, I did check him out. If he was in the rackets back east, he scrubbed himself clean before he came out here. It's a dry well.
Now, how about tying up Isley and McAfee? Is there anything to that? Any connection at all?
You kidding? He wouldn't let him inside the house. People like Isley don't associate with hoods like McAfee, Jake, and neither should you.
You afraid I'll ruin my reputation?
Yeah, along with your health.
Mike, just remember, you're my attorney, not my doctor.
Minister.
Oh, I'm afraid not. He's still upstairs in his office.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just passed him in the hall. I'm with the Prosperity Life Insurance Company, and you look like a guy who could use some life insurance.
Nice try, Axminster. We want to talk to you. So you come with us one way or the other. There's the easy way or the hard way.
Well, since you're giving me a choice, I'll take the easy way.
Okay, Axminster. Now, what you trying to pull with Barbara Thornsberry?
The name is Axminster, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Now, look. This can go on all night.
Believe me, it can't.
Don't play me stupid, Axminster. You and Sally Lynn are working together to shake down Barbara Thornsberry, right?
Her name is Thornberry, and I still don't know what you're talking about. I'm a private detective. I've been trying to find Sally Lind.
Come back. This is your last chance before the lights go out.
You think I'd get knocked around like this for 25 bucks a day, you moron?
I shouldn't have done that. I think that one killed him.
I got an idea that the boss wouldn't mind if you did.
I hope you're right.
I don't know if it was part of the plan or not, Mike, but I came to. It was in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere. I must have even looked worse than I felt. I had a little trouble catching a ride. I was in some canyon about 20 miles west of Palm Springs. I got to the sheriff's substation and reported what happened. And the deputy sheriff, he didn't seem to care. Either that or, you know, maybe he knew more than I did. I don't know. Maybe he didn't even believe my story. But when I left that substation, I noticed a car. And it was dusty, you know, like it had made the trip down from L.A. It was a Rolls Royce. I took down the license number and I summed the ride back to town.
Just your Mr. Sam. He said at the usual auto court on 7th, anytime between 2 and 4, you know? Sure thing, hon. Bye. Good morning. Jake, what happened to your face?
Never mind about that. Get hold of Mrs. Lindstrom for me.
Gorgeous. How's that for service?
Come on in, please.
Thank you. What has happened to you, Mr. Axminster?
I was in an accident.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sit down, will you, Mrs. Lindstrom?
Thank you.
Here, take this ring back. Go ahead, take it back.
But I do not understand.
I couldn't find out anything about your daughter.
It has only been a few days.
Yeah, I know, but if I stayed on it, I'd be wasting your money.
I don't care about the money.
Mrs. Lindstrom, you see that face? I wasn't in an accident. Some guys beat me up. The same guys who beat me up, I think, are the guys looking for your daughter.
You think Elsa is mixed up with...
Bad people, yes. Hoods, gangsters.
Oh,
You
no.
got it? I think she's hiding out, and they're trying to find her. If I stay on this case, I'm going to lead them right to her.
What am I to do?
The best thing you can do is just wait. Let her get in touch with you.
You think she's all right?
I don't know, but I can't help anymore. You understand? I can't help. That's it. Finish.
I owe you money.
Forget about it. But put that ring in a safe place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was pretty sure that Sally Lynn had uncovered some connection between Martin Thornberry's death and the mobs. What the connection was, though, I wasn't sure. I probably should have followed my own advice and forgotten about it, but you know, Mike, I'd seen that Rolls Royce out in the desert, and I had to know who owned it.
Miss Barbara Thornberry is here to see you.
If that's some kind of a joke, it isn't funny.
Don't bite my head off. How was I supposed to know it's a joke?
You mean she's really out there?
Well, somebody's out there, and she's got this big color fella with her.
All right, send her in, and you keep George company.
George? You can come in, Miss Thornberry.
Look, I came here to...
My God.
Pretty, huh? They did a great job.
Who did it? What happened
Oh,
to you?
come on. Don't talk to me like that. You know exactly what happened. 3 guys with fists bigger than their brains beat me up because they thought I was working with Sally Lynn to shake you down for money.
Somebody beat you up, and you think that I arranged it.
Hey, look, don't play coy with me. I know you arranged it. I mean, they had to find out that information from somebody. That's what they told me, so you had to tell them.
I don't know anything about it.
Oh, come on. What do you mean you don't know anything about it? What are you doing up here? Why'd you come here?
I came up here to... Paul's been acquitted.
So?
So Paul has, he's broken off our engagement. He said it wouldn't work, our being married, and that I would just go on wondering whether he really did kill my father. He said that, no matter how strongly we feel about each other, that we just end up hating each other.
I don't understand. Why am I supposed to be interested in this?
Look, I did not arrange to have you beat up.
Well, look, lady, somebody did. Now, if it wasn't...
Will you please stop calling me lady? Makes you sound like some kind of a gangster.
Wait a minute. You came to see me.
And it was a mistake. I came to offer you a lot of money to help prove that Paul did not kill my father.
Hey, the guy's been tried and acquitted. What do you want? What more proof do you need?
I lied for him.
Miss Thornberry, are you all right?
Get out. I was not with Paul that night. We had a fight, and I drove off without him. He didn't have an alibi. And they would have convicted him if I hadn't said that we were together.
You mean the DA was right? You lied for this guy? The guy who could have killed your father?
But he didn't. Paul was just an easy target for the police. They didn't even try to find out who really did it. I love Paul. I couldn't just let him hang.
So you perjured yourself in court. Guy's got a strange way of saying things.
Yeah, but in a strange way, he's right. I couldn't have ever proved he didn't do it. And I probably would have wondered Or maybe it would take 5 years or 10 years, but it always would have been there. Anyway, I can't talk him out of it. Will you please take the job?
I don't want the job.
If it's a question of money...
It's a question of courage. You see this?
If you won't take the job for money, will you take it for me?
It's the same thing either way. Somebody's gonna have to come looking to see who killed me, and I don't think anybody cares.
You may be wrong about that. I'll pay you $100. $100 a day, plus expenses.
A job like this could take weeks.
Or months.
$100 a day adds up to a lot of courage. So I went out to the desert to see Paul Gerard. Nice piece of work you got there.
Came a long way out here for nothing. I don't talk to reporters.
Well, I'm not a reporter.
And you're a cop.
I'm a private detective. I'm working for Barbara Thornberry.
Can you prove that?
Well, yeah. You broke up with her this morning. You're not convinced? Try this one. She lied for you in court to give you an alibi.
Get out of here.
Hey, wait a minute. You don't have to get mad at me. You know, you've been tried and acquitted. They can't try you twice.
If you think I'm going to talk to you, you're dumber than you look. And if you want me to throw you in that car of yours, I'll be glad to oblige.
You sure you don't want to reconsider that?
Try me.
Maybe you could have beaten Martin Thornberry to death.
Is that right? Let me tell you something. He had the grip. He was as weak as an old lady.
Oh, yeah? A woman could have done it? Maybe somebody like Barbara, huh? Somebody who had a lot to gain. Somebody who was in love with a man that her father despises. Now, let's say she goes to him, asks him to reconsider. They quarrel. He threatens to cut her off without a dime. Now, no one suspects her, see? You go to trial. She perjures herself in court to clear you, and at the same time, she has an alibi for herself. I was exactly right about you. You got a short fuse and a nasty temper.
I didn't kill him! I admired the man.
A man who hated you for trying to marry his daughter, a guy whose lifestyle you despised, whose politics you hated? Don't tell me that. You didn't admire him, you hated his guts.
That's right! It came out in court, didn't I, that I hated him? Well, I have to love him, too. That didn't come out in your court.
What do you mean, love him?
Yeah. What I hated about the man was what he stood for, personal wealth. When 18 million people in this country are unemployed, half of them are starving. And as a man, I respected him for his integrity. He made up his own mind about things, and he stood behind his decisions. He was not for sale. Like me, he loved this desert. More than anything else, he understood it. He could smell it. He could feel it. He wanted to keep it that way. Like I said, you came a long way out here for nothing.
What are you doing standing over here, you moron?
I got the registration for you. But it's gonna cost you double.
In that case, I ain't interested.
Hey! I spent 3 hours tracing that damn thing down, Jake. Now, you put in an order, and I'm delivering.
Okay, okay. What are you standing over there behind a tree for, though? Here. All right. What's the guy's name that owns the car?
Charles Harrington.
Thanks a lot.
Hold it, Jake. You're under arrest.
Lieutenant, I'm not working for Mrs. Lindstrom anymore.
I'm wondering why.
What is this, some new kind of game? I'm supposed to guess why I'm down here?
I don't like it when you're cute, Jake. I want to know why you quit her. I want to know why you didn't charge her for your time.
Hey, you dragged me all the way down here to find out why I did her a favor? Hey, listen, she didn't have enough money to pay me anyway.
She had a diamond ring.
Oh, you know that, huh? I guess she came in and told you.
Wrong. We brought her in to identify her daughter's body. Fished it out of the water this morning in Westlake Park. Been there for days. Caught under some branches. Guy in a rowboat banged his oar into it. Does that mean anything to you, Jake?
Yeah, I guess it means that's why I couldn't find her. What'd you do, drown?
Nope. Beaten to death?
Like Martin Thornberry?
Like that mess on your ugly puss. Who did it?
I don't know, Lieutenant. Some hired hands. I asked them for their autographs. They just wouldn't...
Jake! Why did they do it?
I don't know. They wouldn't tell me.
You are one lucky boy. She was, dead before you, got on the case. I'm gonna let you go. As soon as you pay me that $5 you shorted me.
Thelma, I want to talk to you. I know Sally was close to Guy McAfee, and I know you weren't. How tight was she?
What difference does it make? We can't help her now.
Look, there was a time when she needed help, but nobody gave it to her. Come on. What was her arrangement with McAfee?
She was stuck on him. But he loaned her out like she was some kind of...
Loaned her out to other men? Who? Guys like Charles Harrington? Yes. Who else?
I don't know. The last guy kind of fell in love with her. Or something. She never talked about it much. I don't even know who he was.
Thanks, kid.
Who is she?
You don't know her.
Should I?
Maybe you read about her murder in the paper.
Murder? Yes, I probably did. A few days ago?
You went to her grave this morning.
Barbara, what kind of grisly joke is this?
Hey, wait a minute, Mr. Isley. This is no joke. You left a card on the grave. I was there. The card says, I will always love you.
Are you a party to this bizarre game?
David, you knew her and you did not tell me. You knew she telephoned me.
Have you been taken in by this man? I refuse to believe it. Or to have anything to do with it.
Who introduced you to her? Charles Harrington?
face. It's true. Who's Charles Harrington?
He's a big-time gambler from Cleveland. He's a friend of McAfee's, but since McAfee controls all the gambling in this town, I don't think Harrington would move into his territory.
Look, I don't understand all this. What does it mean?
Now, let me ask you something. Your father, did he approve of these guys who paid off city officials?
No, he despised them. Hello? Yes. It's your secretary.
Hello, Marcia? Yeah. Uh-huh. How about the other? Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks, kid. How did your father feel about gambling in Palm Springs? I mean, it's a spa, desert resort. Wealthy people go there.
My father didn't permit gambling in Palm Springs. Oh, they tried it once. In some back room of one of the clubs. My father found out about it and had the sheriff pulled up on charges.
Yeah. Let me tell you something interesting. 3 weeks after your father died, this big nightclub down in Palm Springs called the Cove converted to blackjack, dice, and roulette. Then a couple of days later, the 139 Club, same kind of operation, right on South Palm Springs Drive.
But David would have had to have known about it. It couldn't have happened without David's knowing about it.
That's exactly right. I want to have another conversation with you. Hello, operator. This is an emergency. Get an ambulance to 742 Chapman Way right away. You got that? 742 Chapman Way. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, mister.
Yeah. There'll be an ambulance on the way. Take it easy.
Tell Barbara. I didn't know. They were going to kill her father. I didn't tell her.
Isley must have called Harrington in a panic and told him that I'd finally put it all together. Told him that he'd have to do something about it fast. You see, Mike, that left Harrington with two problems. Isley was the first. Once they killed him, they had to get me. So, by now, Harrington's goons are either at my place waiting, or on their way up here to just make sure I don't wake up again. Now listen, Mike, you gotta tell Barbara Thornberry what Isley said, and then forget it. Or you'll be next.
He ain't here, Mr. Harrington.
He has to go home. We'll get him there.
Don't make a move. I'll blow your brains out.
I was just coming to see you.
Oh, yeah?
My Lord, what happened to you this time?
I got careless. I caught it in my pencil sharpener. Come on.
I wanted to tell you about David. He regained consciousness this morning. He said you saved his life by calling that ambulance.
I was sure he wasn't going to make it.
Well, that's the only thing you weren't right about. He confirmed your theory about gambling in Palm Springs. He said he was willing to let it in, and my father wasn't. By the way, I have your check.
$100 a day, and I had to wrap it up in 3 days.
Well, now, that's the least of it, Jake. If you'd just mucked around with this case a little bit longer, I was getting very attached to you.
How much did it cost me? Come on, 20, 25 million? Is that what you're worth?
Give or take a little?
Well, the least you could do is buy me lunch.
The least. I was looking forward to saying goodbye.
Oh, in that case, we have to do that over a drink.
Then we'll make it a long goodbye.
Cheer the Rangers on to a road victory as they take on the Milwaukee Brewers. There's plenty of baseball fun tomorrow night at 7:30 on KTVT, your Rangers station. Coming up now, James Garner and Catherine Ross star in the baffling story of a brutal murder investigation. They only kill their masters is next on The Late Show.